Hey everybody, it's Julie. Thanks for joining me today for a process video using the Acts of Prayer collection from Creative Retreat Kits. This is the brand new June collection. Again, it's called Acts of Prayer. I do have a full unboxing over on my channel, and I have that linked in the description box, and it's also in this playlist. So let me just give you a quick run through of what's included. There's this devotional, and it's all about prayer. And I love this print on the back, which is the design theme. So it's kind of like that circle, the prayer that's continual, and we should be praying continually. So the decor sticker sheet, again, it continues that tie-dye theme. And then look at these alpha stickers with the tie-dye. So love those. And then we also get a black set, which is great to balance out all these colors. We get this gorgeous stamp set, which I'm going to be using today, that has these two-step stamps for the daisies and some words that are great for prayer journaling. And then this label, so I'm going to use that today. We get this incredible stencil, which helps you to have this tie-dye stencil theme. So I'm going to be using that today. You get this flare button piece, and I'm going to use that to make a button, a paper clip. And there are also some add-ons. These are the Faith-Filled Digitals. I don't think I'm going to use these today. But then there's this add-on. It's a prayer journal. It's gold foiled. It's made out of apple skins, and it smells really good. So I'm going to decorate this page here, and then I'm going to make a template, a prayer journaling page right here that I can just journal my prayers in. So I'm going to go ahead and put you on fast forward, and we'll get started. Okay, so I'm going to use the tie-dye stencil, and I'm starting off by using my ZIG Two-way Glue Pen on that to give it a temporary adhesive. And while that's drying, I'm making my clip with this flare piece. So I pulled out the metal part of it. I'm layering up the inside with some adhesive, some foam adhesive. I'm making it flush to the back so I can just attach a paper clip. And then I'm getting one of these little coin circle pieces from the decor sticker sheet to back it, and there I have my little clip. Okay, so now I have a good temporary adhesive on my stencil, and I'm using the blending brushes, and I'm starting with the straw khaki color, this beautiful yellow. And what I'm going to do is turn the stencil slightly and use a different color. So I just turn it a little bit so that I've got some white space showing. Now these pages are off-white, so you don't get the same kind of vibrancy of the color. Now here is where I should have cleaned off the stencil in between, because my pink is blending with the orange and the yellow. I went to the golden Sunkiss after the yellow, and then that was cotton candy, but my pink and my orange were blending together. I should have cleaned it off in between. Now I'm going with the Bluebird color, and some of this blends a little bit with the other colors, makes it a little different, but for the most part I'm getting that distinct blue. So I think that looks really cool. It's not as soft as on the decor stickers and the backing, and that's because of the background, the color of the page that I'm using here. In order to make it a little bit softer and blended more, I just blend some of the cotton candy around that and just make it a softer look. Now I'm going to use my alpha stickers and spell out Acts of Prayer. This is going to be my introductory pages, a spread on the inside cover of this prayer journal. I'm going to use the stamp that says prayer, and then these black alphas. I'm going to put one of my acrylic blocks on top of these alphas just to make sure that they are sticking down. Makes sure that adhesive holds. And now I use the label from the stamp set, and I'll stamp the word prayer inside of that. I use my stamp Shammy to clean my stamps, and I'm just going to handwrite the word of. So it's going to say Acts of Prayer. This is my title page. I'm going to pretty up this page a little bit, this spread, with some of the daisy stamps. And that's all I'm going to do here, and then also stamp the prayer journaling prompts over there. So I take the solid stamp first, the one with the petals, and I rub that a little bit because it's a brand new stamp, and I ink it up with the cotton candy. And I'm going to place that in all 5 corners of this spread. Some of them I hang off the page and some of them are fully on the page. And then I put one right there in the middle. Did I say 5 corners? There are 4 corners. 5 stamps because one is in the middle. Now I'm going to come in with the outline stamp and stamp that in black. Now you do kind of want to line up the petals because there's a certain pattern to those petals. Don't stress about it being precise. Don't need to worry about that at all, but there is a direction to it. So I'm stamping that outline, and this is what we mean by two-step. So we get a full colored image in 2 steps. Now here's a 3rd step. I've got the center of the flower, and I come in and do that in the straw khaki color. But I decide I want a little bit of orange to this. So I'm going to take the golden Sunkiss color, and I'm going to ink the petals with that solid stamp. And here I am shifting the petals a little bit, shifting the stamp around so that it's not directly on it. So I get some dimension and play with those colors. Isn't that sweet? Isn't that cute? These daisies are absolutely going to be my favorite. Going to use them all the time. Okay, so now I'm going to take the label stamp and I'm going to make 4 spots for the 4 different journaling prompts. Here I'm lining up. This journal works perfectly for 6 lines for each section with 1 line in between. So I counted that down, and I'm using different colors to use my labels. You can certainly do this in black. Now again, this is just my intro page. I'm not going to do this every single time that I'm praying, because that would just take some time. That needs to be in prayer, not in the art so much. So now I stamp adoration, and then confession, and then thanksgiving, and then supplication. That order is very important. Of course, praying doesn't have to be methodical, but if you do follow a basic template, a basic order, it helps to get your mindset correct. Adoration is praising God for who He is, not what He's done, but focusing completely on Him and His character. Confession is asking forgiveness for our sins and shortcomings, and that's especially in contrast to His character. So I'm going into the devotional, and I'm highlighting that section on the Acts method of prayer, and I'm going to make some notes here in these various sections, and this will be my guide page. So I write, praise God for who He is, His character traits, under adoration. Ask forgiveness for my specific sins and shortcomings, especially in contrast to His character. That's under confession. Thanksgiving is thank God for specific things He's done, how He has blessed me or someone. And then supplication is present my request before God, knowing that He supplies all I need. So that's my guide for each of the prayer prompts. Okay, so this is my cover page, if you will, my introductory page to this prayer journal. So I have all the aspects of the ACTS prayer and a description of that. So this is something I can go back to and remind myself what each aspect is for adoration, for confession, for thanksgiving, and supplication. Now, I wouldn't do this on any given day. This is pretty, but I just want to pray. I want to focus on spending time with God and communicating with God. So here is what I would suggest on a given day, just stamping the words. Now let me share with you a prayer toolbox that you can use, that you can make. Just take a basket, a bin, a bag. This is one of the Creative Retreat boxes, the shipping boxes, and you can repurpose it into a prayer box. So you can decorate it with any of the materials from this kit, the Faith-Filled Digitals, the stamps. I just put the backing of the devotional over it, over the top, and then if I so desire, I can just pretty it up and maybe even put a ribbon around it, so that this is a very handy size, and I'll put everything in it that I need. So this prayer journal, there's prayer journal fits right in there. And then I would also keep a couple of black pens that I would do a lot of the writing with. I'd keep this stamp set, but let me show you how I would use those stamps. I'd take a block, one of the acrylic stamp blocks, and a small ink pad. I like this Versamagic chalk ink. It's very small, very handy, and it doesn't bleed through the pages. And I actually put the words, the prayer prompts, on my block, and I'll just keep them there. I could stamp a bunch of these pages all at once and then just have it ready to go, or I can do it each day. And that's why I would have this. And then I would also have some colored pens, because sometimes I like to do each section in a different color, or I might keep a few highlighters and then just highlight those titles, because again, color helps me to differentiate the sections. But I could certainly do it all in black. I might keep a date stamper. Now, one of the tricks on making it easier and faster, let's take a look at this page. All I did is I stamped. Now, I wouldn't even worry about cleaning the stamp when I stamp it, because I'm only stamping in black, and that's what this is being used for. Now, if I want to go back and use this for another purpose, I can clean it with some stamp cleaner and it will be fine. So let me just show you how I do that. I actually stamp the ink off. So say if I start with, and I have them set on here in a certain order. There we go. So if I started with confession, I'd stamp that, and then I'd stamp the word, just stamp it off. And that gives me kind of that shadow look. And I could use some scratch paper and just keep it in here and stamp it off, but I kind of like that look and it makes it easy. So then I would turn it. I have confession on the other side, so it's very easy. I have it, all I've got to do is turn it. And then I stamp those off. Then I flip it over. I've got it there. The next one is Thanksgiving. Ink it up, stamp it off, and then I turn it, and I've got supplication, and I stamp it off. I keep the stamps on here, but because I stamp that ink off, I'm not going to get any shadowing of these stamps. So I just do it 2 or 3 times. I also do it lightly. I'm not really worried about getting a dark impression here. I just want that word there. So I have every word on here. When you're stamping it, it's going to be on the top left. That's where I like to do it. And then, so if I turn it 180 degrees, then confession is there. Then I would flip it. I've got Thanksgiving right there. And then I would turn it 180 degrees. I've got supplication right there. So I would just keep that in my prayer box, my prayer toolbox. I'd have the date stamp, but you can always just write it. And then these various tools that can help me. I keep the stamp set in there, or I could take it out as long as I have those 4 journal prompts. And then this goes right in there, and then I can close this up. I can put it in my bag, and then I could do some prayer journaling at any time. It's very portable, it's lightweight. I keep this next to my prayer chair. I have a prayer chair that I do my devotion and my prayer time in. It's not at my crafting desk. It's in my living room, and that is my prayer chair. And I have all my supplies there for praying and Bible study. So that is a simple tool for you, the prayer toolbox. For some still shots of my projects, you definitely want to check out my Instagram feed, because I'm going to be having a giveaway of this kit, the prayer journal, and some of the supplies for you to make your own prayer toolbox. Also, you want to stay tuned for all the amazing videos and projects from the design team. I do have all of my products linked in the description box, so you can check those out. Leave any comments or questions in the comment section, and I'll check those. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much, and God bless. Bye-bye.